Yeah, I finally got a CRT TV. I have to show you something. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. I'm not gonna be copyrighted. What's up in your face? I've been listening a lot to chiptunes. I've started a podcast with a friend called Bleeps and Bloops. It's in Norwegian. It's not gonna be for all of you. There we talk about video game music, old, new, whatever we want to talk about. It kind of reminded me of games I played as a kid and all the cool music that come with that. I've been checking out a guy called Button Masher a lot on Instagram. You should for sure check him out. He's an amazing chiptune artist. Maybe I can make a song where I make chiptune music and mix in orchestral music, so it's like a chiptune song in the foundation. I have no idea how to make chiptune music. I'm just gonna listen to a lot of the music and maybe get some inspiration, and we'll just see what happens from there. Remember to subscribe, like the video, all that jazz, and I'm gonna make some music. Okay, let's make some chip fucking music. Oh, let's make some chip. My girlfriend said I swear too much. I can't do that anymore. Oh shit! And that is where my mic cut off. So instead of me having to scrap this video or you having to watch this all silent, I thought I can take you through the project and showing you what I did and how I did it, taking you through the whole process. Okay. So we're gonna go through everything. I thought I would begin just to talk a little bit about the plugin I mainly used for this song. It's called ChipSynth SFC. It's basically a Super Nintendo sound chip in a digital instrument. It's really cool. So the one who showed me this was Button Masher. I had an Zoom class with him back in the day, a couple of years ago, and he showed me this, and it's such a cool tool, like holy damn. So the thing is with this is you can download any Super Nintendo soundtrack and it will give you the SBC files. And with that you can say, now I have Super Mario RPG loaded up and I can listen to, say, Bowser's Castle. And the thing is, when I'm gonna play this song again, just look at the channels there on the side here and you'll see them light up, and I'll show you something that's really awesome. What makes this tool kind of powerful. So now we see all the channels are lighting up, and that means that they're active. So if I want to listen to number 2, I can solo that. Okay, that's a cool organ. I like the sound of that. The thing is then, I can grab this, then I stop the song, and when I go back to the sample tab here, it shows up. Yeah, so now I have the instrument, or I have the sample of the instrument here, so I can make anything that is inspired by this song with the sound from the game. It's really cool, and I think it's an amazing tool if you want to look into chiptunes, or if you have some sounds from the Super Nintendo that you really love. It's an amazing tool. I know that the people who make this, the company called Plogue, they have one for the Mega Drive as well. That's what you Americans call a Genesis. It's a super cool tool that I think you should check out if you're interested in either using these kind of sounds or if you want to make chiptune music. And it's not that expensive either. I think it's worth every penny. I've used it a lot, either to just transcribe music, to get some sounds from there that I really like, or just to have fun, just to listen to music. I'm just going to quickly show you how you get the SBC files. So this one is called So Far's Domain. By the way, this is all legal. I'm not doing something that's illegal. You see they have all the systems on the side here, but now I've selected the Super Nintendo, and you can just jump to any page. Like, say if we want to jump to page 3, I want to scroll down to I want to download the soundtrack for Godzilla Kaiju Daikesen. I butchered that. You want to do the original music files, because that's when you get the SBC files. Then you see download here. Okay, so it's all in the right folder right now. And when I now select here down on the folder menu, or the folder button, it pops up. I have everything on my SSD that I call VSTs, and I just push that, and I see the folder that I called SNES Music Libraries. And here I've now put the Godzilla folder. I load that, and all the songs just get loaded instantly into the plugin. And I want to listen to Raging Waters. Again, I solo a part I think is cool. Okay, I like the lead here. I grab that, stop the song, go to sample, and everything is there. Let's get back on track. I showed you the plugin I mainly use, so let's go through the piece. And can we just have one moment of gratitude of how I colored this project? Here we got the green, blue, red, and yellow. They kind of look like a tutti frutti coloring. It's really nice. And it's not at all easy to manage. It's not like grouped by instruments or anything, but it's nice to look at. I'm just gonna go through the songs super quickly. Like it starts with an arpeggiator. It's the chip synth. Everything you see here marked with the Super Nintendo logo, it's the chip synth SFC. So it sounds a little bit like this. So it's like a guitar sound. I put on some echo and some reverb to kind of make it a little bigger. And I play some chords on that, and it's really a really nice sound. And then the pad gets introduced. It's not a pad, it's more like a chord. Let me just show you what it sounds like. So it's kind of a shimmery, it sounds like a kind of piano almost, but it's nice to just give some chordal depth to everything. And then the real chords join in with a super like high note that kind of just fills out the space a little bit. If you listen to that. So it's just there to kind of take the top and make it kind of screamish in a way, but in a good way. And then for the chords, it sounds a little bit like this. It sounds like a little glockenspiel or like a marimba mixed with piano sounding thing. It's all synthesized, so it's emulating instruments, but it's not something particular since it's a synth sound. Then the bass, I just used some octave bass, like do 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 do, kind of nitty gritty. I feel like it fills the space and it does the job. I'm getting like an ABBA vibe from that. Moving on, let's focus on the drum kit for a little bit. I separated it so I can add effects to some of the parts, but not all of them. And I have the hi-hats, I have the snare, and I have the kick. I like the contrast of the piece because the rest of the melody and the harmonies are really slow. It makes it a little dreamy, and the drums are like super like even if the beat is slow, I feel like the hi-hat kind of drags everything, and it works like a really good like a contrast to the whole piece, and it's really nice. Moving on to the melody, we use some strings here. Just some pizzicato things. This is from Chrono Trigger, so it's really nice to use that. I love Chrono Trigger, such a good game. And the music in that game, oh my lord. It's just like an easy melody, and it evolves. During the B part of the melody, we introduce the other instruments that kind of, it takes over for the melody, but the strings are still there, but it takes over for the main melody as the main instrument. And it sounds like this. And it's a really, really harsh sounding synth, and I really like the sound of it. This is also from Chrono Trigger. I feel like it's from the festival theme. It's so good. Like it has like this almost harmonica sounding, but also mixed in with a trumpet and an oboe. So like it's an instrument on its own, but it's such a cool sounding thing. And moving on, we don't introduce anything new before we get to the B part, and that's where we strip down everything, just having the chords, the melody, and the bass remaining, and we keep the oboe trumpet thing. The chords are there and the bass are there, and it's such a different sounding melody, just to again, just to be a contrast, to break up everything we have been listening to until this point, to make it a little bit easier for the listener. It sounds a little bit like this. Yeah, here we have a droney bass as well that kind of goes with some steps, and we removed the rhythmic part of it as well, just to have it more open and really, as I said again, contrast the whole piece. And then before we move to the end, we have a little run up with a riser on in the bottom as well. In the end, everything comes back in, but we add some orchestral pieces because it's me. I like orchestral pieces. I like orchestral music. It's cool. When you mix it with the chip synth sound, I feel like it becomes its own thing. When you talk about graphics, in the old style, you have 1-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, and on and on. And it's a thing where you mix modern graphics with retro graphics. It's called high-bit. I feel like the expression is really describes what you're doing, because you're taking something that's kind of high definition and mixing it in with something that's lo-fi or low definition, as the bit graphics are. I really want to make a term for it. Maybe there already is a term for it. When you mix chip synth music with real instruments, I think it should be a term for that. Maybe there is. Please let me know in the comments if you know. But either way, we add in some there's some cellos here that plays the chords, and going forward we have violins, and then playing the pizzicatos. Then we have the oboes that's playing the melody as well. We have the orchestral pads, that's not really pads, but the chords are played by a glockenspiel. I doubled the bass, but I didn't really double it. I just added like the root notes and in long strokes instead of having the dun 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 dun, because it gets a little bit heavy on the double basses. And then we have a Celeste, and Celeste is one of the best instruments. Like, it's one of my favorite instruments. It's such a nice sounding instrument. It's doing some arpeggiated things, and it sounds so good. Oh, that's so dreamy, right? Just drowning this in the reverb and the echo, like taking down the top and the lows and just put it through the arpeggiator, gives it such a cool dreamy sound. I love that. I love it. And then we have the rhythmic parts. There's the hats and the snares, and the hats are replaced by a tambourine, and there's a snare as well. It's an orchestral snare, so it sounds more like a marching snare, you know, like when you see marching bands. And then I doubled the kicks with a timpani. For all of these sounds, all the orchestral sounds, I used the BBC Symphony Orchestra. And for the crashes, or for the cymbals at the end, I used the One Kit Wonder by Get Good Drums, the Architects pack, and it sounds so massive. It's such a cool sounding kit. Effect-wise, I used a lot of reverb, some echo. There's not too much happening. There's a lot of EQ as well. That's about it. Sorry about the microphone falling out, and I'm gonna double check that when I do the next video. Thank you so much for sticking with me and watching this, even if it's not one of my typical videos. You can check out all the music on Spotify as well, or whatever you stream music. I think that's gonna be it. Here's the ending. Yeah, so that became a pretty cool song. The thing is, I don't know if I am too dependent of the orchestra, or if that's just a good thing that I kind of use that to make my sound, or it kind of helps me be creative in a way. But should I try to not use the orchestra for a video, like force myself to use something else than the orchestra? Maybe that could be cool. Either way, it was super fun. For sure, check out Button Masher. He makes some amazing music using these kind of technologies. And I think it's really important that you go check out some older video games just to learn how they make music, or how they made music in that time. I think it's really cool, the thing with restrictions and what technology allowed you to do back in the day. I think that can be some of our greatest tools to kind of just to restrict ourselves and limit ourselves to use all these vast technologies that can kind of make it a little bit scary. Like sometimes I don't even know where to begin when I write music. So I think it's cool that technological limits can be a helper or something that can lead you in a direction when you make music. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel to see more, and press the like button and all that jazz. I'll see you in the next one, but before that, let's hear it.